Good afternoon. I'm Demetrios Gully. For today's top stories, we have a tech industry trade war, a tragic accident that occurred when a woman was fishing in the Bahamas, and a shipment of cocaine disguised as something that's very unexpected. Silicon Valley is waking up to higher prices after President Trump's $200 billion tariff list. CNN's Samuel Burke reports on how consumers in companies like Netflix, Amazon, and Google have become ensnared in the trade war.
Tim Cook's touch. The Apple CEO's lobbying the Trump administration saved the iPhone from the latest round of Trump tariffs. Also spared wearables and other smart devices brought to the U.S. from China.
Well, we were trying to do things that would be the least intrusive on the consumer.
The latest round of tariffs on $200 billion worth of goods is hitting other parts of Silicon Valley hard.
It's time to take a stand on China. We have no choice. You know, it's been a long time. They've been hurting us.
The new levies target the Chinese hardware fueling the tech sector. Everything from semiconductors to electronic circuits.
There are certain kinds of machines that you and I never come into contact with, but that underpin a lot of the high-tech products that people buy.
They're the key components that make computers, household appliances, and home security systems hum. Even your favorite Netflix series could be hit. The streaming company's videos are played from Amazon's cloud servers. That equipment comes from China. Apple may not be in the clear for long. The president has said he's ready to tax almost all Chinese imports, calling out Apple directly in a tweet and claiming there's an easy solution. Make your products in the United States instead of China. Start building new plants now. Exciting. The administration says the tariffs are meant to pressure China to fall in line. Experts say a levy on the iPhone would be counterproductive. Even though the device is assembled in China, it's designed and manufactured in the U.S.
90% of that tariff falls on value created by Americans. There's no other way to say it than to say that literally the United States is taxing itself.
And Apple may have the most to lose if China retaliates with tariffs of its own. 21% of the company's sales are in China, leaving a clear target on America's most valuable company. Samuel Burke, CNN, London.
A 32-year-old Massachusetts woman had quite the harrowing vacation story. She's recovering from a shark attack. Terrell Forney has the story.
A severe shark bite, too gruesome to show on TV, that now has doctors at Memorial Regional Hospital working to save this woman's fingers.
It's just unfortunate, you know, it's one of those things where she was spearfishing and the shark came from nowhere.
The 32-year-old victim fishing in the Bahamas Sunday afternoon near Treasure Cay Beach on the Abaco Islands when a black-tip shark similar to this one clamped down on her left hand. Bahamian firefighters receiving the 911 call around 2 in the afternoon.
Real tough lady, but in severe pain, naturally due to the mutilation of her hand.
Her injuries so extensive, the victim had to be airlifted to Fort Lauderdale by Trinity Air Ambulance. We're told the woman had just speared a hogfish underwater and was swimming back to the surface when the shark attacked, shredding some of her fingers.
A lot of people don't realize when you're spearfishing grouper, hogfish, they give off a sound when they are injured. And that sound is like ringing the dinner bell for the sharks.
The Scott unit in Freeport, Texas, was offered a donation of what was said to have been ripe bananas. But after a closer look, 2 sergeants found something that wasn't as appealing and had everyone going bananas.
It's been heroin hidden inside a working car battery, fentanyl concealed in a spare tire, and 14,000 pounds of marijuana in a melon shipment. Today, it was $18 million worth of cocaine disguised as bananas.
I know that there are several federal entities that are investigating.
Jeremy Diesel is with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. He says this offered a couple pallets of ripe bananas as a donation. 2 sergeants went to the port to pick them up and made the discovery.
One of the Right, looked a little further, removed that box off of one of the pallets, took a look inside, and saw something extraordinarily suspicious.
Inside 45 boxes under the bundles of bananas were also 540 kilos of cocaine. U.S. Customs and DEA agents responded and seized the drugs.
It's a very significant seizure.
The disguise is called a cover load, says the DEA's Wendell Campbell, who shared with us pictures of drug smugglers' sneaky ways. Heroin hidden in a car axle, resealed iced tea cans containing liquid meth, and meth attached to functioning car rims.
Cover that load to give it the appearance of being something legitimate when the method is to move that drug into our local area.
The load got only so far, intercepted, Diesel says, by 2 alert officers.
Our correctional supervisors, which these guys are trained to notice things that are out of place, that don't seem quite right, and they're doing their jobs not just when they're on our units, but good today.
Jessica Willie, 13 Eyewitness.
When we come back from our commercial break, we will have some interesting stories that you don't want to miss.
When it comes to energy snacks, there's no-nos and there's na-nas. Chemical high, that's a no-no. All-day glow, that's a na-na. When you need longer-lasting energy, reach for Nature's Energy Snack, Australian bananas.
For over 40 years, Charles McCutcheons has stood for the best America has to offer. He's president of a Fortune 500 company, father of 2 wonderful children, and a good neighbor.
I'm not here to sell anything, and I'm certainly not running for any political office.
Work, family, community. Charles McCutcheons.
Hi.
Paid for by Charles McCutcheons.
Are you troubled by strange noises in the night?
Do you experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic?
Have you or any of your family ever seen a spook, specter, or ghost?
If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call the professionals.
Ghostbusters!
Our courteous and efficient staff is on call 24 hours a day to serve all your supernatural elimination needs.
We're ready to believe you.
Lately, we've all been hearing a lot about a certain Charles McCutcheons. But did you know about Harrison Greeley III? Harrison Greeley is also a successful businessman with a family and a lot of friends. Plus, he likes you.
You can call me Harrison.
Harrison Greeley. Rich, got a great family, really nice house, a super guy.
Paid for by the Harrison Greeley III Committee for Harrison Greeley III.
Welcome back. Here's the stories that we all have been waiting for. An Amtrak train collided with a tractor-trailer Friday in Texas. Take a look at this video from the scene in Missouri City. The crash was reported around 1:35 Friday afternoon. Officials say the truck was on the tracks when it was struck by the train. There were 71 passengers on the train and no injuries were reported. The train was headed towards New Orleans and the trip was expected to resume after the train was inspected. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is back open. The Kilauea eruption in May resulted in explosions in Rocks Falls, making it now unsafe for employees and visitors. The popular tourist spot was closed for 134 days, which was the longest closure in its history. The park was supposed to open Saturday at 10 a.m., but lucky guests were allowed to enter a few hours early. Officials says that the park is open 24 hours, but however, part of it is still off limits because of safety concerns. This week's opening is seen as the first phase of the process, and there is currently no word on when the second phase is expected. A retired paper salesman from Hartsdale, New York, now has lots of paper. And by paper, I mean money. Michael Marks won $10 million on a New York Lottery Week for Life scratch-off ticket he brought at this gas station. A lottery spokeswoman handed him the check at the very gas station on Friday. He says he knew the day he brought it, it would win the jackpot. A centuries-old shipwreck has been discovered off the coast of Cacas in Portugal. The shipwreck was discovered 40 feet, 12 meters underwater on September 3rd. The vessel is believed to have sank sometime between the years of 1575 and 1625. Aboard the ship Maritime, archaeologists found spices and Chinese ceramics from the Wanli period. They also found cowries that were used as currencies for the slave trade in some parts of Africa. At the time, the mayor of Cacas, Carlos Carres, said this is one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of the century. Divers will continue to work at the site to see if they can uncover further information about the ship and its cargo. After this commercial break, we have some soft news to help you ease those achy, breaky hearts.
Charles McCutcheons has a message for you.
Let's look at the facts. I have a great family. I won this trophy in Cape Cod last year. And next month, I plan to learn how to water ski.
Charles McCutcheons. Now you're talking great guy.
Look at the facts.
Paid for by the McCutcheons Family Committee to celebrate Charles.
Charles McCutcheons claims to be a great guy.
Look at the facts. What are the real facts?
He also claims that he plans to learn to water ski. But company records show his vacation to be only 3 days long.
Well, you can't really learn to water ski in 3 days. Of course, that depends on what you mean by learn. You'd still be a beginner. Well,
seems the only thing Charles McCutcheons is great for is lying.
Hey, Charles, if you're great, I'm really great.
Harrison Greeley III. Really great.
Paid for by Friends of Harrison Greeley III.
Next week on U62, he's back. And this time, he's mad. Gandhi 2. No more Mr. Passive Resistance. He's out to kick some butt. This is one bad mother you don't want to mess with.
Don't move, lame body.
He's a one-man wrecking crew. But he also knows how to party.
Give me a steak, medium rare.
Hey, Baldy! There is only one law. His law. Gandhi 2.
11-year-old Sophie Sanchez, after having a heart transplant, helps a friend stay strong and guides her to trust God's plan as her friend now prepares for her own heart transplant.
I miss my buddy on the end. How are you? How are you? Great.
Theirs is a friendship few would understand, born of fear, but fueled by positivity.
She kind of helped me because she went through this her whole life. So she inspired me to be stronger, too.
My favorite part of the day is when Sophia would come up to my door knocking with her smile. She's always so positive.
At 11 years old, Sophia Sanchez came to Lurie Children's with cardiomyopathy. Her heart was too weak to pump blood through her tiny body. It's a condition that often leads to heart failure. Sophia needed a new heart. But her spirit was strong as she did the Kiki dance down the hospital hallway. She even recorded a message to her idol, Drake. She often sang his song, God's Plan, as she prayed for her heart.
God's plan. God's plan.
God has a plan for me to get a heart, which I got my heart.
I'm grateful
to have my daughter have a second chance at life.
But even before Sophia got her heart, she got a huge surprise that swelled her heart. Drake came to Lurie Children's.
Oh my God!
You asked me to come, I'm here.
It felt like a dream. I didn't know if it was real or not. I froze for a second. So. He said, stay strong and keep fighting and you will get through this. And it helped a lot.
The story went viral, and Sophia was the star.
It felt fun, actually, and because I always wanted to be famous, and I always said to my mom, I want to be famous, I want to go on the Ellen Show, I want to do this.
As she showed off her old Kiki dance moves with a new heart, her heart surgeon, Dr. Carl Backer, says he loves the spotlight shining on Sophia because that light may brighten the lives of others waiting for an organ and donor families who give the gift of life.
I think it's great to get this kind of attention because for the donor family to get the information that their child's heart and many other organs can go to other children that then have a life like this, I mean, that brings some sort of joy and something good comes out of something really bad.
Jessica knows the bad days. She's had a broken heart for 23 years.
I've been dealing with it my whole life. Since I was a baby, I have had 5 open-heart surgeries.
She's hoping her next surgery is something she'll share with her dear friend Sophia, a transplant operation.
The day I get that call, I'm going to call Sophia right away, and she'll help me and tell me how it's going to be okay.
Just like she did today when she came back to Lurie to encourage her friend.
Oh, yeah. I love my friendship bracelet.
Thanks.
I won't take it off. It's so special to me.
Sophia says this won't be her last trip back.
Come back here and tell the kids who are going to get a transplant that it's going to be okay and you're going to go back to all your stuff you did. Yeah, it just takes time.
An elderly man who was a teacher for over 35 years has decided now to spend his time adopting multiple cats and is now designated as the cat busher at Safe Haven Pet Cemetery.
She's very affectionate.
Safe Haven Pet Sanctuary may be a shelter, but the felines who live here aren't orphans.
I adopted all these cats here.
After his 35-year career as a teacher, Terry is spending his golden years volunteering.
And when I retired, I decided I wanted to do something fun.
Something fun and just a little different.
I'm the cat brusher.
It's a job Terry tends to 6 days a week.
Hi, sweetie. How you are, good kitty. Here you are. I come in and I basically brush every one of the cats. So lots of cats have fur that needs to be taken off, and it feels good to them and they like to be brushed.
Terry often takes naps with his feline friends, and those moments are the ones featured in a viral Facebook post.
I was on this couch sleeping with, I was petting a cat and I kind of dozed off and the cat dozed off and they took a picture and that's that.
The post has brought recognition to the work he does for these special needs cats.
Milo is diabetic and he's blind, but he likes to come and say hello.
You might say it's a calling.
For me, it's natural. When I look at a cat, it clicks. Oh, this one needs this or that one needs that.
And Terry's planning on many future returns.
As long as I can, as long as my health permits, this is what I look forward to every day.
Because he knows there's nothing more relaxing than a cat nap.
Small correction to the last story, as the cat busher at the Safe Haven Sanctuary is what I meant to say on that last story. Moving on, a police recruit and a dog are injured in a shooting incident in St. Louis. Authorities were called to a resident when a pet bull allegedly lunged toward an officer, resulting in shots fired. Vinton Blandon reports.
What's going on?
I'll tell you
in a minute, so I need the other side of this police car for me. Okay, I understand. But we're here for a reason. I understand that. I need to know.
News 4's camera was rolling as this man arrived at his home on Alaska in South City. Police went to answer a disturbance call but ended up involved in the shooting.
My dog? My dog? Why would you let my dog down?
Upset and concerned, the man tried getting answers from his niece. Chief John Hayden tells News 4 a dog at home with the niece rushed towards 2 officers and 2 police recruits talking to her at the front door.
Which one? Zoe? Are you kidding me? Jake won't attack nobody.
Chief Hayden says the dog did, and one officer fired a shot.
Why would they shoot him? Why? He's not going to attack nobody. He'll bark.
News 4 learned the officer's bullet hit the dog's paw and ricocheted into the recruit's wrist.
I understand the officers were closer to the front, and the recruits were a little bit farther behind them. So when the shooting occurred, though, naturally some of the positions might have changed.
The recruit is 29 years old. The officer, also 29, is an 8-year veteran of the department.
Now we're off to a commercial break.
Harrison Greeley III, Charles McCutcheons, two rich men battling for our favor. Now it's time the people spoke and said,
enough! The public airwaves are no place for unseemly character assaults. Mr. Greeley and Mr. McCutcheons, please stop this petty and hurtful public display.
Hooray! Paid for by Reverend Anders and Citizens United Against Negative and Unnecessary Advertising.
Remember the Alamo. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. But why remember a destructive love affair? Here at Lacuna, we have perfected a safe, effective technique for the focused erasure of troubling memories. Our patented non-surgical procedure will rid you of painful memories and allow you a new and lasting peace of mind you never imagined possible. Don't forget, with Lacuna, you can forget.
Reverend Anders, what are you after? What do you want? Who is the real Reverend Anders? You f***ed with the wrong guys, Reverend.
Paid for by the Greeley McCutcheons Committee to crush Reverend Anders.
Harrison Greeley III and Charles McCutcheons claim to have newfound respect and admiration for each other. And it's true. Fact, Harrison and Charles have shared with each other personal memories of growing up rich. Fact, both have worked together to destroy a common enemy. Fact, the two have made specific plans to do things together in the future. Trust, respect, warmth. Harrison Greeley III and Charles McCutcheons, friends.
Now that we're back, here's Yanina Incanel with your Trojan Sports News. Yanina, how are those Trojans doing?
They're doing fantastic, Dimitris. Thanks for asking. Saira Tucker was the hero on a rainy Friday night at the Coleman Sports and Recreation Complex as she netted the game-winning goal in the 80th minute to seal the first conference victory for the Trojans against a scrappy Georgia State side. The winning moment came in the 80th minute when Grulich managed to win to header that sent the ball through the Aparicio Gili. The Spanish forward unselfishly squared the ball across the face of goal to find the foot of Tucker, who provided the vital touch for the goal. The Trojans will travel to San Marcos, Texas for their next conference game for a match with Texas State on September 28th at 7 p.m. Little Rock Volleyball took the opening 2 sets and then fought off a furious Troy rally, outlasting the Alabama Trojans 16-14 in the feat to notch the victory at the Jack Steinrich Center. The win ups Little Rock's record to 10-5 overall and 2-0 in Sun Belt Conference play. Little Rock will now hit the road for a crucial 4-game road swim beginning west against its Texas rivals. The Trojans open up their Lone Star road trip on Friday, September 28th, facing Texas State in San Marcos before heading to Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex to face University of Texas in Arlington on Saturday, September 29th. And now, it's time to meet the new member of the Little Rock Trojans basketball team. She's a freshman from Chicago, Illinois, who is ready to rock this year. Welcome our guest, Antonia Walker.
Thanks for having me.
Good morning, Antonia. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions for our viewers and everything.
Okay.
So can you tell us a little about yourself and your family?
Well, okay, like you said, I'm from Chicago. I have a younger brother. He's 10 months old, and actually I have two younger brothers, and the other one is 8 years old. I live with my mom and my stepdad, Imani and Max.
So that's interesting. You have a big family, and have your parents played any college sports?
Yeah, my mom, she did cheerleading, ran track, and played a little bit of basketball. And my stepdad, he played professional overseas.
That's awesome. So how did you start playing basketball and you realized that it's your passion?
Well, originally I started with dance, but then after that my mom figured I should do something else, so I started playing basketball in 4th grade. And ever since then, I've just been playing because I love the game.
That's awesome. Wow. So would you love to share with us the most interesting high school basketball experience?
It was during my sophomore year. I went to St. Francis in Wheaton, and we won our first regional. It was pretty exciting because we haven't won that in 10, 15 years. So that accomplishment was something that really put our school on the map.
That's a great job. I'm pretty sure that was an incredible and exciting moment for you.
Yeah.
So what are your expectations from this coming season and the Coach Foley?
My expectation is to win. I love to win, work hard, and that's the reason I chose to come to Little Rock, and I chose Coach Foley because I know that's what I'm going to get at the end of the day.
Awesome. Thank you, Antoinette. Well, thanks for being with us here today and talking to us. So now let's throw it over to Demetrius to help us wrap things up.
Wow. What an interview. Wasn't that just a fantastic interview? Well, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time here on Live Wire. I wasn't supposed to say that?